Thank you, thank you.
Welcome back. Amazing, wasn't it?
Absolutely, because a lot of people were saying in the business she's not going to sell out. I don't know why she's doing the Wembley Stadium. Well, get this. In 8 minutes, Madonna sold 78,000 tickets and sold out the Wembley Stadium, and I think that's a big effort by Madonna in London.
Mind you, she was frantically making phone calls to get, you know...
So let's have a look at what London may see when she's on tour. And here it is, from the last tour, Madonna with Holiday. Have a look at this. Right now, at this very moment, Madonna's in LA, rehearsing a whole new show. That's the old show, with a whole heap of dancers, new dancers, and apparently they're pretty hot, these new dancers. And the big news is, finally... Oh, hello.
Oh, I can't wait for autumn. Look, another use for Velcro.
Absolutely. All right, now this is Fever. Now the big news is, and let's have it right now, Madonna is officially touring Australia. And it is in November. And here are the tour dates.
Madonna.
All right. Mr. Blackman, please.
Thank you, Molly. It's Tuesday, November 23rd, Brisbane QE2 Stadium. Tickets on sale August the 10th. Friday, November the 26th at the MCG. Tickets on sale August the 9th. Back to you, Molly.
Okay, now don't panic, Perth or Adelaide.
Now, Madonna is to pocket more than $1.5 million for a single concert at the MCG in November. Tickets for the 2-hour show will range from $60 to $200. Madonna will play in Melbourne on November the 26th. She'll also perform in Brisbane, but may skip Sydney because promoters can't find a suitable venue. The ACTU has called for a...
Still, she's only doing, we've only got the Melbourne and Brisbane dates, but here is her new single, Rain, and this is back to Madonna of old. I think this is a great track from the album, one of the few great tracks off this album.
Wash away my sorrow, take away my pain, your lips
Right, there are the dates, Mr. Blackburn.
Thank you, Mr. Meldrum. Yes, the Brisbane QE2 Stadium. Tickets on sale August the 10th, November 23rd, that concert. And the MCG, November 26th. Tickets on sale August the 9th.
Right, that is indeed on Monday. Now, as we said, that Perth and Adelaide will keep you informed on that. Sydney is still in trouble trying to find a venue. And I know I upset a few people last week, but...
St George's Leagues, they'd do it, wouldn't they?
Well, no, I know I upset a few people in Sydney, but I mean, the reality of this, if they are going to stage the Olympics in the year 2000, they're going to have...
Little curl right in the middle of her forehead. When she was good, she was very, very good. But when she was bad, she was amazing. Think you've seen it all? Think again. Madonna, live, the Girlie Show tour. Just when you thought you'd seen everything.
20 years later, that Maori actually...
10 years now waiting for her, and it's been four tours. They're all gone overseas. No come to Australia. I think it's just 10 years of built-up tension.
The longest week, yeah, I would say that. I'm so tired. I could just fall down and sleep right here now.
Money. Money for Madonna. Can you believe it? This could be rent money for the next 6 months. But no, it's going all to Madonna.
She's bringing a 747 full of equipment. She's bringing a 727 with over 100 people of her own entourage. And it's an enormously expensive project to put on the road. She's not doing it for the money, I can assure you. She's got to be worth $150 or $200 million. I think she's excited because it's one of the few countries she hasn't been to. I'm in the middle of an interview, and I think also the fact that Australia was one of the first countries that she broke in. Holiday was a hit in Australia before almost anywhere else in the world.
Think you've seen it all. Think again. Madonna, live.
How do the feminists view Madonna now?
Well, I think they're probably getting a bit scared that they're about to lose one of their great heroes, when, in fact, I don't think they've got anything to be scared of at all. I think Madonna's probably done more for feminism than any other pop cultural icon since Bloody Penelope of the Thunderbirds.
Her strength. I think she's a very strong woman. And the thing I most of my hope about Madonna is that she'd be a very strong businesswoman.
What is it? I don't know. She's just an incredible businesswoman and a very individual person.
I think it just sums up that kids today are a lot smarter than, you know, the days of old where hype and music business manufactured artists could take over, I think.
I mean, sleeping out for a week, I thought, I'm not going to sleep in a mattress, I need my bed.
And what's been the worst thing about the weather?
The rain, basically.
Wash away my sorrow, take away my pain. Your love's coming down like rain.
Please. No, you know you got to.
Tuesday, November 23rd. You do the next one, Mr. Blackman.
Okay, Dickie. Melbourne cricket ground, Friday, November 26th. Saturday, November 27th. Monday, November 29th.
I'll do the next one, Adelaide, over Wednesday, December the 1st.
Back to you, Molly.
Material girl Madonna, and a taste of what Melbourne fans can expect this year.
The outrageous Queen of Pop has kicked off her world tour in London, displaying her new look as a daring diva. Till we see you again, good night.
Good night.
Look around, everywhere you turn is heartache. It's everywhere that you go. Look around, you try everything you can to escape the pain of life that you know. You all else things that you long to be, something better than you are today. I know a place where you can get away. It's called a dance floor, and here's what it's for.
Were expecting the outrageous. The pop diva didn't let them down on the first night of her Girlie Show world tour. Before 72,000 people at Wembley Stadium, the material girl was typically raunchy. The superstar performs in Melbourne in November.
Madonna has kicked off her 2-month world tour that takes in Melbourne at the end of November. Peter Mitchell reports the outrageous superstar did not disappoint her fans.
In front of 75,000 fans at Wembley Stadium, Madonna's opening night was typically raunchy.
Everybody got the fever. There's something you should know. Fever isn't such a new scene.
The pop queen appeared with cropped blonde hair and in black sequined bra, shorts and boots. The Girlie Show tour will take in 10 countries and is based on Madonna's controversial Erotica album, which sold 5.5 million copies.
Look around, everywhere you turn is heartache. It's everywhere that you go.
Madonna will perform 3 concerts at the MCG in late November. Peter Mitchell, 7 Nightly News.
You like Madonna is bigger than most rock stars ever get. And now for the first time she's heading to Australia as part of her World Girlie Show tour. Notoriously difficult to pin down, Madonna did agree to one interview before she arrives here next month. The lucky man, her old mate Molly Meldrum, who flew to Paris for this world exclusive report.
Romance. She's provocative, daring, and one of the few truly global stars. She's Madonna, and she's headed our way.
I'm coming to Australia, and and damn it, I want to have a good time.
Looking for a good time and a few good men.
Well, I've heard about the surfers and stuff.
I haven't noticed them.
You lies!
But before Australia, there's a few places in between. Madonna is back on the road. Hi, welcome to Paris, the latest stop in Madonna's worldwide girly tour. Madonna's not only out to rock the audiences, but to rock the knockers and prove that she's still the biggest and the best.
You will be shocked and amazed. Shocked and amazed. Hello, Paris! Vous êtes prêts? Est-ce que tu crois à l'amour?
Madonna today. I mean, I saw you last night in concert. Great concert. And you actually looked happy. I mean, really happy.
Mm-hmm. I am
Yeah?
happy, yeah. I have a good time doing the show. I don't know, it's just, it's been a pretty grueling year for me, and for an assortment of reasons, but it's just, I feel like so many of the things that I wanted to say didn't really come out the way, or that people misunderstood a lot of the things that I was doing. And I feel like with my show, it's not something that anyone can take out of context, because it's just the audience and me, and I feel an incredible sense of freedom. I feel like it's exactly what I want to say. You know what I mean?
Even for Madonna, it's a daring departure. A show that merges rock with burlesque. A concert that's cabaret as well. Sure, it's risque, even raunchy, but Madonna draws the line. She's her own woman, but she's also her father's girl as well.
We are playing in Detroit, and I said, "Oh, Dad, you're going to really like this show." And he's like, "Are you sure? Is there, well, should I come? Is there anything that you think's going to bother me?" I said, "No, I don't think so, Dad. I think it's very sophisticated, and I think that there's a lot that you'll enjoy, and I never take my clothes off, so it'll be cool, don't worry."
Madonna knows that this tour comes at a time of unprecedented scrutiny. The critics are sniping, but ever since Sex, the book that is, she's been overexposed. The sex book. The sex book.
Don't drool all over yourself.
No, I did drool over the sex book, and coming from me, that's astounding, I reckon, you know?
Yeah, because you've seen it all.
Yeah.
And done it all, mind you.
Come on. Back to you, quickly. A book that, I mean, sold a lot. Some people say, well, she can't shock anymore. I mean, were you out to shock?
Well, no. I mean, that's not my intention. My intention is to make a book of my sexual fantasies. That's what everybody's sort of obsessed with, because I guess they're shocked, but...
I mean, this looks pretty sexy, this outfit.
Get out of here.
It does.
You think?
I do. I reckon it looks very sexy. You don't think it looks sexy?
I think you need to get...
Maybe it's because you're wearing a kilt.
I think you need to get some sleep, Molly.
Yeah, maybe it's because you're wearing a kilt.
Well, I have this bruise right here. Is that sexy? Right there on my knee?
Is that obviously from performing on stage? I hope it is.
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
Well, don't tell me. Would you say being this work level that you put yourself through, being on stage, is like an aphrodisiac, or what? To you?
Aphrodisiac, I don't think that's a good way to describe it, because when I think of aphrodisiac, I think something that just brings you pleasure. It's draining. It's as painful as it is rewarding to do a show like this. When it's over with, I feel incredible when I did a good show, but right before it, I mean, and the moments leading up to it, I'm just so tense and so anxiety-ridden, you know, so it's both.
Like a chameleon, Madonna is always changing. Just when you think you've caught her in one image, she comes up with something totally different. Her ability to come up with something new, daring and provocative is one of her many enduring qualities. She works on so many levels. A woman of tantalising contradictions. A temptress who still prays before going on stage.
Dear Lord, our last night in Toronto. I lead the prayer. Yeah, every night.
Is that important for everyone? I mean,
I think it is. I think it's good for everybody to stand in a room and hold hands and just take a moment to focus and think about what we're doing. Maybe it's a little bit of superstition, you know, you just want to say, "Dear God, let us have a good show. Let us watch each other's backs," that kind of thing. But, you know, athletes do it too. It's just a moment for everybody just to get together and go, let's do it.
I love you, Madonna. She's great. She's fantastic. She's fabulous.
The cheers of the audience ring in her ears, but so do the sour grapes of the notorious English tabloid press. Madonna had become their latest tall poppy target.
It's easy to slag me off, you know, but it does hurt me, and then a lot of times I'm amused by it. The thing that gets me through it is just concentrating on my work and relying on my friends. I mean, the opinions that matter to me are my peers, people that I respect, and my friends, you know. And they're really supportive of me, and that usually gets me through.
Not that she's too worried. She's got other things on her mind, like Australia, for instance.
You've been telling me for 10 years that I have to come here, so I want to see kangaroos.
Right.
I want to hear everyone say good day to me. What else?
Well, maybe those surf lifesavers, Lovey.
No, my trainer says, like, there's some guy there, like, he's like a god there. He's like this really famous guy. He's blonde, long hair, muscular, like, triathlon guy. Do you know who I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
he's probably the Iron Man.
What? Yeah, the Iron Man. What's he like?
He's a very nice bloke, actually, Madonna.
Oh, okay.
Madonna. Always with her eye on the main chance. She sets a hectic pace, but for how much longer? Are you going to settle down one day, have a baby, perhaps?
Why can't I have a baby and not settle down? I'm just going to pop it right out.
Thanks, Madonna. I'm looking forward to coming down to Australia, and I hope you don't have the baby there.
Was a girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. When she was good, she was very, very good. But when she was bad, she was amazing. Don't miss the daring diva, Madonna, live. The provocative and sensational Girlie Show tour. Good seats are still available for Madonna's final concert, Monday, November.
60 die-hard fans. Oh, yeah. Madonna arrived in Sydney this morning to begin her Australian tour. But only 60 die-hard fans, along with a contingent from the media, were at the international airport to meet her.
The pop world's foxiest lady outfoxed her fans at Sydney's mascot airport this morning. Less than 100 were waiting to welcome Madonna's much-awaited Australian tour, and kept waiting they were. First to arrive shortly before 8:30, her enormous entourage, but without the superstar. Her arrival remained a closely guarded secret. Most fans gave up the vigil, but eventually winging into Sydney, the flight which the very faithful and, of course, the workers had been waiting for. Security was laid on thick, but the star's arrival was uneventful. Already clutching her first piece of musical Australiana, Madonna was whisked off to her Sydney hotel to rest after the flight. Preparations are underway for the first concert in Sydney on Friday night. Ian Watson, 11 a.m.
Get to that short. Yes, I am on Friday night.
Her Girlie tour of Australia. About 60 dedicated fans were at the airport to greet her and were rewarded with a brief wave before the superstar boarded a van and headed off to the city.
Hi. Arrived in Sydney armed with a new toy, an enormous didgeridoo. With her Girlie Show set to open on Friday night, the Sydney Cricket Ground Trust has spent $500,000 protecting their wicket from the raunchy sex queen of rock.
It's the Queen of Erotica's first tour to Australia. But after waiting hours for a glimpse of their idol, fans were disappointed when the Material Girl failed to materialise. Weary after her 18-hour flight from LA, the camera-shy Madonna snuck out the back way. Making the most of what was left, onlookers were treated to a performance from one of her entourage, who was dancing for joy after selling his tour cap for $50.
$50? Can you sign it as well?
Meanwhile, the superstar was seen entering the Ritz-Carlton at Double Bay under the protection of heavy-handed security guards.
You're asking. Leave it. Leave it. Really asking. Leave it.
But while the heavies were muscling out the media, Madonna spent the afternoon working up a sweat of her own. A well-known fitness fanatic, she booked out an entire gym to keep in shape for her grueling tour schedule. Madonna will be performing 8 shows while in Australia. All of her concerts have sold out within minutes, with thousands of fans paying up to $200 a ticket. The first 2 concerts will be held here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, where the SCG has spent $400,000 to ensure the grounds aren't damaged during the performance. Lyndall Davies, 10 News.
Friday, before heading to Melbourne next week. As Russell Bishop reports, tight security is keeping fans and the media at arm's length.
Only her most devoted fans were at the airport.
She breaks all the rules. She does everything that everyone tells us not to do, and she's never boring. She's always changing.
But the closest they could get was the observation deck. as Madonna, complete with didgeridoo, was led to a minivan on the tarmac.
She was very feisty and very happy.
Not so the die-hard fans who scattered for a glimpse of Madonna as her convoy drove off. They'd hoped for more.
Pretty disappointed.
Upstairs.
They had to settle for autographs from the crew of the Girlie Show, the tour hairdresser, an unlikely celebrity.
I have to go, you go. I'll try to just do mine.
As Madonna arrived at the Ritz-Carlton at Double Bay, hotel security flexed its muscles.
You're asking.
The nightly food and accommodation bill for the 100-strong entourage is reportedly around $50,000. The bill for staging the 8 Australian concerts, around $25 million.
Logistically, it's the biggest thing we've ever done in 30 years in the business, so it's a great challenge and it's very exciting.
Fans outside the hotel went wanting this afternoon as well. After a workout at a local gym, Madonna tried to avoid attention by using a basement car park, eventually resorting to the safety of a jumper to preserve her privacy. Russell Bishop, National 9 News.
And her minders made it clear it wasn't a photo opportunity.
Welcome to Sydney, Madonna.
The Australian leg of the Girlie tour will play to 400,000 fans at $70 to $200 per ticket.
It's her first shows ever in Australia, so it's a pretty big moment for all of us. I mean, this is easily the biggest tour to ever come to Australia.
On Saturday, Madonna plays to the biggest audience of her current world tour, a capacity-filled Sydney cricket ground, and 30 million Americans paying to watch on the home box office network. But the gate takings alone in Australia will net her about $2 million profit per show. She has every reason to be smug. Tim Stott, 7 Nightly News.
And today, Madonna snuck into Sydney for the start of her national concert tour. But already she's left a few fans
today and proved that she's a hard act to follow, even off the stage.
She don't come out and wave. I mean, she's going to be the lowest bitch in the world.
And that was all her fans got. She was whisked off to her Double Bay hotel where the stakeout began. But it didn't keep the world's richest hard body from her fitness schedule.
Big hole, big hole.
And her minders made it clear it wasn't a photo opportunity.
Welcome to Sydney, Madonna.
The Australian leg of the Girlie tour will play to 400,000 fans at $70 to $200 per ticket. On Saturday, Madonna plays to the biggest audience of her current world tour, a capacity-filled Sydney cricket ground, and 30 million Americans paying to watch on the home box office network. But the gate takings alone in Australia will net her about $2 million profit per show. She has every reason to be smug.
Crews and paparazzi all desperate to get that exclusive shot. But with the Girlie tour to begin at the SCG tomorrow night, our reporter Mark McCallum is one step ahead of the media pack. He's actually on stage. Good morning, Mark.
Sure am, Liz. Actually, we're just a little bit behind the stage at the moment, and with me is Wayne Jarvis from Frontier Touring. They're the tour managers. Wayne, let's get on that stage, and as we walk up the ramp that all the equipment goes up, tell me a little bit about this equipment.
Well, for a start, Mark, all this equipment just landed in Australia yesterday.
Right.
Yesterday morning, we got it out here just after lunch yesterday afternoon, and the boys worked right through the night to get it to where it is now.
During which time it rained terribly, but everything's okay.
As you can see, it's all been covered up, which slowed us down a little bit.
We're going up the ramp that they bring all this gear up. How many semi-trailers? Let's hang a left here, by the way. How many semi-trailers?
The stage came in 6 or 7 semi-trailers, and then after that, we've got 18 to move the show from city to city.
All right, now there's a tunnel down there that I understand Madonna comes up.
That's right, that leads down to the thrust that goes out into the audience at the front of the stage.
All right, now these are what's known as the quick change areas, aren't they?
That's right, there's 5 of those, as you can see along here, where the band and the dancers will come and do quick changes.
All right, so this is the Madonna quick change area, so I'm not really in Madonna's dressing room, but I'm...
Close.
I'm close, all right, about as close as I'm likely to get. OK, so now we're on the stage. This is all... None of this is seen by the people who are seeing the concert, I understand.
That's right. This is upstage behind the backdrop.
Right. OK, so here we go. Now, this is the movable sort of back of the stage, isn't it? This moves forward.
This is all part of the moving set.
Yep, OK, and look at it. Way up there it goes. Incredible technology here, I understand.
Absolutely. It's stuff that we haven't seen in Australia before. It's
all right. Okay, let's go forward now, and now we're actually going onto the stage.
That's right.
All righty, we're going onto the stage, and we can see out to the Sydney cricket ground. Now, you can see the fellas out there sweeping the area. That's where the pitch normally is, I understand, and that's where the terraplast...
The terraplast?
Yeah, that's
this
sort of...
white material
The white
here,
material, okay. The terraplast is the white material that's come from Wembley. They spent $400,000 protecting the Sydney cricket ground area. And that is 56,000 people out there. Okay, now back here on the stage. Look at this.
Okay, yeah.
Fantastic.
As you can see, all this set has moves up, down, in, out.
All right. I understand there are 90 people required to put the show to air, plus band members.
Yeah, Chris has got a crew of 90 people that he bought from overseas.
Yeah, okay, and the whole thing costs about $500,000 to stage each time it's put on. So my small contribution for Saturday night is $70 or something.
Okay, $70 is the tickets outside the Gold Circle here.
Okay, all righty. So there it is, the Madonna stage, looking...
Madonna fever has hit Sydney, but the woman who has been known to bear all for the cameras overseas is keeping a low profile in Australia. Meanwhile, loyal fans continued their vigil outside the hotel. By midday, their prayers were finally answered.
Just move back this way. Move back this.
Madonna slipped into the gym next door for a workout that lasted just over an hour. Madonna's first concert will be held tomorrow night at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Until then, her bodyguards will continue to do anything...
Called Queen of Sleaze is keeping her instantly recognisable head down. Hardly been seen at all. But as Lincoln House reports tonight, maybe people have been looking in the wrong place.
Just thinking about it.
She's the pop icon of a generation, the queen of erotica, who's managed to give style to sleaze.
I don't want you to thank me. You better like me. Madonna, Madonna, Madonna.
And now the dirty diva has come down under. Australian audiences are about to be touched for the very first time by that Madonna magic.
Straight the pose.
Thus far, the woman who put the S in exploitation has been keeping an uncharacteristically low profile, with the help of some enthusiastic minders.
You're asking... You're really asking... If I mention the name Christopher Ciccone, you might say, Christopher who? But if I tell you that he's Madonna's brother, then you'll know why he's in Australia right now. As superstar Madonna prepares for her first ever concert in this country, brother Chris is hard at work pulling the glitz and the glamour together for his sister's Girlie tour. Angela Bishop scored this interview.
The police are here, and this just in. They say that you can't do the masturbation scene tonight, otherwise you'll be arrested.
Really?
Ooh.
Okay, let's hear it.
Look at
that.
Christopher Ciccone, little brother, protector, and friend to superstar Madonna.
Are you guys serious?
I'm serious.
Totally serious.
Clay just is down there with Freddie.
But this quietly spoken 32-year-old is much more. He's the brains behind Madonna's massive shows, the Blonde Ambition Tour, and now the Girlie Show. And he doesn't care who knows it.
How much of the Girlie Tour has your stamp on it?
I'd like to think all of it does, you know. But, well, most of it.
It's a long way from the first shows he organised for his big sister. 3 a.m. spots in New York nightclubs, battling every night to get people in.
At that point, I was really just concerned about paying rent. So it was really just dancing around. I mean, it was nothing specific or even, frankly, that interesting, you know. It's funny to look back at it, you know, but, I mean, it's very funny to look back at it. But I wouldn't call it significant.
I don't know. My mother's death was just all a big mystery to me when I was a child.
It's a team effort that began in childhood.
When you were growing up, after your mother died and Madonna was in a way looking after you, would you say the roles are reversed now? Oh, she didn't look after you?
Well, there was a lot to look after. I mean, you know, I think she did what we all did, and we sort of looked after ourselves, you know, but I wouldn't say the roles have reversed. We just fit together nicely, you know.
Myra makes paintings for me.
Oh, she did it herself.
She did it herself.
So they have a lot in common. Among the first reports about Madonna's behaviour when she reached Sydney was that she took all the paintings in her room down and replaced them with nudes, a habit it seems she shares with her brother.
It seems natural that if you would go into a hotel room and didn't like something on the wall, you'd take it down. I would.
But as far as the media reporting on these trivialities...
Obviously, what bit of privacy there is sort of cherished, but, I mean, we're here to do a show, so you take everything that comes with it.
Did you ever imagine it would get this big?
You just sort of get caught in the movement upward, until you realize that they're actually yelling your name when you walk outside, you know. Yeah. Still trying to figure out why, you know, why someone might want an autograph. It's sort of, there's no reason. I mean, I just can't, you know, I'm not the star, you know what I mean?
But he's the brother of the world's most notorious living woman, who has shared and bared just about everything.
Does she ever go too far?
It's her life to go too far with, and not necessarily for me to judge, you know. If it directly involves me, then I may have an opinion on it, but generally it's her vision of her life. You know, she can go as far as she wants to go.
But this loyalty doesn't mean Christopher Ciccone bows to every wish of the star. This is one person the self-styled dominatrix can't always win over.
Do you boss her around, or does she boss you around?
Well, she's a star, you know, so she does a certain amount of bossing around. But I can have my way. I just do it differently.
Madonna's erotica album made...
Fans packed the Sydney Cricket Ground tonight for the Material Girls' first Australian concert. Many of them had been trying to catch a glimpse of their idol since her arrival on Wednesday.
It was the night Sydney had been waiting for, and fans started arriving early. But with the mob came the traffic, with roads blocked and cars banked up 6 kilometres from the Sydney Cricket Ground. When the gates finally opened, the crowd surged forward, but the crush was just too much for some. By 8:30, the Queen of Pop hit the stage and Madonna mania erupted. For an hour and a half, the superstar kept her loyal fans screaming and dancing. While there were earlier predictions of rain, the weather held out, and the concert is now being heralded as one of the biggest musical events in Australian history. Lyndall Davies, 10 News.
The fans rocking at the start of her Girlie tour. They took to the stage tonight for the first of her Australian concerts. The 2-hour show at the Sydney Cricket Ground was full of her usual high energy, raunchy rock and roll, and had the 50,000 fans screaming for more.
Having made big efforts to maintain her privacy since arriving in Australia on Wednesday, Madonna came out of hiding last night for a full dress rehearsal at the SCG. Today, her loyal fans again did all they could to catch at least a glimpse of their idol.
She's worth it. She's unreal. She's a legend. She's our idol. We love her.
But the Material Girls' first Australian concert this evening was what they'd all been waiting for. Despite some rain, hundreds streamed through the gates of the SCG, filling the venue to 50,000 strong by 7:30. Just an hour later, one of the world's most successful acts hit centre stage. With all the energy she could muster, Madonna entertained the capacity crowd with a blend of her old and new material. Madonna will perform 2 more shows in Sydney before wrapping up her Girlie tour with concerts in Melbourne and Brisbane. John Noble for Nightline.
With unrelenting rain forcing promoters to postpone tonight's concert at the Sydney Cricket Ground for 2 weeks. But as Mark Ferguson reports, there was no such disappointment for the 45,000 fans who saw the Material Girl in her debut Australian performance.
A 10-hour wait was finally over for those at the front of the SCG queue, but the stifling heat had taken its toll. The warm surrounds seemed to have some influence on the apparel of the night. They dressed up and they dressed down for their date with the diva. More than 45,000 flooded in. They were welcomed to the Girlie Show in fine style. The Material Girl quickly compensated for her pre-concert secrecy, the exhibitionism for which she's renowned flaunted from every angle. Last night's memories were replaced with today's weather worries. Heavy rain throughout the day, leaving the SCG waterlogged. Promoters waited until 5 p.m. before calling off tonight's performance, leaving fans that had queued for much of the day devastated.
We were looking forward to it for ages. 2 months we waited for tickets, now they tell us that it's cancelled. It's not fair.
For fans, her Sydney concert had to be postponed because of rain.
That's what the Sydney Cricket Ground looked like last night. This is what it looked like late this afternoon. Organisers and the Cricket Ground Trust tested the soggy field. As thousands of fans waited patiently outside, the decision was made to postpone the concert until December the 4th.
Yeah, well, the weather's pretty bad, but still, we don't mind.
But it wasn't just the rain that caused the postponement.
90% of the show is played in front of the roof behind us, out on the thrust and the catwalk. So, and with all that high-powered, very fast dancing, it would be very dangerous.
Then the decision was broken to the fans, some of whom had travelled hundreds of kilometres. There was resignation mixed with disappointment.
But it's all right. She'll have to hope the weather will be good next concert.
So you're going to come to the next one? You're not going to...
Definitely. I'm not missing out. No way.
Upset, but I'm looking forward to a good show. This said before.
Yeah.
What can we do? How much we can do?
Fitness for the bronzed Aussie male. A fitness fanatic, she wanted to meet some of our surf superstars, the Uncle Toby's Ironmen. Guy Leach, Trevor Hendy and Olympic gold medalist Clint Robinson were only too happy to oblige.
It was the party to be invited to. Some dressed down, others dragged in, and Madonna's special guests motored in. More than 600 people had tickets, and those who didn't wished. As the party warmed up, so did the 6 Ironmen waiting for Madonna and a photo shoot.
Guys, listen to me. First shot, you'll actually be standing in front there fully dressed, okay, with her, because of the lighting situation, okay? Then you'll drop your dash.
Then, when everything was set, the singer's boat arrived.
Hi.
Madonna was introduced.
I'll just put my hands in my pockets. I'll keep
I'll go around the edge.
And the Ironmen started into their moment of glory.
Oh my God.
Madonna hopped aboard for more photos.
Here comes a wave.
For the presentations, one for Entertainer of the Universe, selling more than 2 million catalogues of albums in Australia, and a signature on a 20-metre high banner to be auctioned for the AIDS Trust.
Yeah, actually, she seems really normal, you know, to be quite honest. A lot of people paint her as being sort of very bitchy, so to speak, but she was very friendly and very open to us. I think it was great.
The Girlie Show next opens in Brisbane on Wednesday night, with Madonna returning for shows late next week in Sydney, weather permitting. Pam Mackay, 10 News.
Of her dreams. Daniel Blyde with the story.
On stage, out running, the whole world wants to see Madonna, but even before this tour, Madonna had someone that she wanted to see. Last night, that wish was granted. 650 of Sydney's Smart Set were at Pier 1 waiting to see it happen. Among them, some Ironmen turning to jelly. When the moment came, Molly Meldrum stepped in to play host.
There you go.
Oh, you.
The photo shoot was going smoothly, but even the Queen of Shock wasn't prepared for what came next.
I'm just standing here minding my own business. Oh my God.
Then a surfboard salute.
Don't draw me. I have work to do.
And while Madonna partied, the Ironmen reflected on their brush with fame.
Actually, she seems really normal. Very cool. She's a very friendly person and very nice.
Daniel Blyde, National 9 News.
Oh, well.
Teamed up with 6 of Australia's leading Iron Men at her big party in Sydney. And for once, not all the eyes were on the material girl.
On stage, out running, the whole world wants to see Madonna, but even before this tour, Madonna had someone that she wanted to see.
There's some guy there, like he's like a god there. He's like this really famous guy.
Probably the Iron Man.
Last night, that wish was granted. 650 of Sydney's smart set were at Pier 1 waiting to see it happen. Among them, some Iron Men turning to jelly.
First shot, you'll actually be standing in front there fully dressed. Then you'll drop your dash.
When the moment came, Molly Meldrum stepped in to play host.
There you go.
Oh, you.
The photo shoot was going smoothly, but even the Queen of Shock wasn't prepared for what came next.
I'm just standing here minding my own business. Oh, my God.
Then a surfboard salute.
Don't draw me. I have work to do.
And while Madonna partied, the Iron Men reflected on their brush with fame.
Actually, she seems really normal. Very cool. She's a very friendly person and very nice.
Daniel Blyde for Nightline.
Preparations are underway for the first of her 3 Melbourne concerts, and as Norm Beeman reports, one Madonna promotion really had heads spinning.
How y'all doing? Having a great ride?
Melburnians looked on in disbelief. Could it really be?
We're gonna get up and dance. Come on. Let's have a party.
But no, it wasn't the diva herself, just a lookalike promoting a record store. The real thing was somewhere between Brisbane and Melbourne after a concert up north last night.
We got a bit of rain last night, and like a real trooper, she went on and really did a great show. The crowd were really happy.
After earlier losing a concert in Sydney due to rain, organisers are hoping Melbourne can pull the cat out of the bag weather-wise. And the Weather Bureau is even putting one of its men at the MCG to give hourly updates on concert days. But the Madonna hype ended today when it came to the hallowed cricket pitch at the MCG. It must be protected at all costs.
The pitch will be covered at about 4 o'clock Friday, so the timbers are only down while the concert is on, and they'll be taken up immediately after the concert, so it's only covered for about 8 hours.
The big questions around town today were, where would Madonna work out? Where would she get her fad foods? What night spots would be on her list?
Just between you and I, and strictly on the quiet, can you let us know what Madonna's up to in town?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm staying right out of that little one.
For those on the Spot the Madonna trail, keep an eye on this record store in Burke Street. It's having an in-store promotion on Saturday, supporting Madonna's favourite charity, Counter AIDS. Norm Beeman.
Madonna will be on stage at the MCG in the next few hours. For tens of thousands of Melbourne fans, it's not soon enough. Many of them have spent the last 24 hours chasing her across the city. Emma Rossi joined the hunt.
As Madonna stepped from the jet last night, her fans let her know their feelings. Some were in tears, some brought gifts, others tried to find the best viewing position.
I can't believe it! I think I saw a wave!
All day, a crowd of loyal fans waited outside the city's Hyatt Hotel for a glimpse of the international star. Fans said they saw Madonna lying under a blanket in this van. She went for a jog along the Yarra, then returned the same way she'd left. At the MCG, a crew had spent all night erecting the Belgian-made stage. With 25 tonnes of lighting equipment, it's the only frame capable of doing the job.
A lot of the people in the entourage commented that Melbourne felt like the best city they'd been to so far, which was good, and plus the fact it's the only city where we haven't had any rain.
Fans are already arriving. Authorities have warned hay fever sufferers to bring medication as more than 40 people were treated at the U2 concert. Emma Rossi, 7 Nightly News.
Today, with adoring fans trying to catch a glimpse of the superstar before tonight's MCG concert. Most surrounded a city hotel, calling on the material girl to acknowledge their presence.
We want Madonna! We want Madonna!
The chant of the young devotees outside what was strongly rumoured to be Madonna's hotel. You really think she's here?
Well, we saw a few people stir her last night coming in. We reckon she's here.
What do you want to say to Madonna?
I want to tell her I love her.
She's a legend. She's the best. That's why.
Could that be one of Madonna's American bodyguards? Rumour had it Madonna and her entourage had booked out the top 2 floors of the Grand Hyatt. But the hotel's marketing executive said there was no one by that name registered in the hotel. But what was the man from Warner Music doing visiting the hotel?
Basically, we're liaising with the tour staff and more or less ensuring that their stay is as smooth as possible, basically.
So, is Madonna here?
She may or may not be.
Then suddenly, could it be? But no, it was a false alarm. It was Madonna's van, but just her trainer going out. It seemed this fleeting glimpse of the star on her arrival at Melbourne Airport last night was all we were going to see of her prior to her first concert tonight. Then, late this afternoon, Madonna was shielded from public gaze as her entourage made an unavoidable outing to the MCG for a pre-concert sound check. And at the big stadium, finally, after hours of waiting, another very quick glimpse of this very elusive star.
Meanwhile, here at the MCG, there'd been an overnight transformation ready for the Diva's first performance.
The first trucks rolled in at 9:30 last night, and we had 100 stagehands here, and everything's up, as you can see. The stage just looks magnificent.
Maybe this man, the tour coordinator, knows what Madonna is doing with her spare time in Melbourne.
You will let us know if you find out, won't you?
I will. I'll let you know for sure.
Norman sliding down a pole from the stage roof. There were plenty of theatrics and costume changes. Not surprisingly, sex was a common thread through many of the dances. A broken microphone was the show's only hitch, and now fans are hoping for a clear night tonight and on Monday.
There are the imitators. Then there is Madonna. Madonna, the tour souvenirs. The Immaculate Collection, now a limited edition picture disc gold CD. Erotica, the new album, now a limited edition gold CD with poster. Madonna, the tour souvenirs. Be quick, because she may only come once. LCD. Erotica, the new album, now a limited edition gold CD with poster. Madonna, the tour souvenirs. Be quick, because she may only come once. Available at Brash's.
A total of 150,000 fans have turned up for the shows, and we've been backstage to check out the action on Madonna's latest theatrical extravaganza.
How very, very lucky you are to have this interview right now.
It's about an hour from showtime, yeah. Nikki. I mean, how nervous are you normally at this point?
I'm really, really nervous. No.
Rob, you're the costume supervisor of the show, and there are a number of costume changes in the show. So how does it work back here?
Well, for Madonna, we start off and she's wearing these shorts, and she's got a bra on, and she takes them off on stage. She takes off her jacket and her... Then she goes back and ducks under and changes into another bra, which is this one for Vogue, and we add this headdress, and together they make a pretty good combination.
Look around, everywhere you turn is heartache, it's everywhere that you go. You try everything you can to escape the pain of life that you know.
I'm cold. That was enough. This England weather, honey, my boobs are sitting up. You know, the sequins is going.
Strike the pose. Each song is a different character, and especially for Nikki and I, when we're up front singing and everything. That's what's so much fun, is to be able to run off very quickly and put on a new costume and go out on stage and you're a whole new character, a whole new person. It's a lot of fun.
Show, I think, is more theatrical. It's, the artistic director is her brother, Chris Ciccone, and I think the intention on this show was to make it really a little theater that moves around from city to city.
Everybody's got a fever. Do you think
you being her brother has made it easier for you to sort of adopt a good relationship role?
Well, when we're working, it's pretty businesslike, but we have something more than that, you know. I mean, I believe that we respect each other's abilities, so it makes it easier for us to work together.
Last night's show was a very big success with the audience. How did you feel about how it went?
Couldn't have asked for a better show. Everything that we wanted to go right as far as the audience getting the sensibility of the show and all the moves and all the energy for us as performers was just right on. It was really right on and beyond what we could have expected for the opening night, I think.
Absolutely brilliant, mind-blowing. Can't get anything better. She's really surprised herself. Brilliant Madonna. Love you, babe.
She's the queen of rock and roll, love. You should have been that, well, tough, isn't it? Ta-ra.